Hey, my name is Sabrina Champong and I attend Berea College. You are about to watch an interview that I conducted with Dave Reilly from Berea Home Village. I hope you enjoy and that this video blesses you. How has Berea Home Village helped you?
Well, it helped me to meet new people. And I think meeting new people is essential for any time in your life. I think that's what makes life rich is, meeting people and meeting new people. And so that's my answer.
Wow. Do you feel like you've met some substantial friends or associates from Berea Home Village?
Yeah. Yeah. I met some people that I knew in the community were very solid leadership people that were instrumental in building the college community.
Okay.
And I've met people like that. And so I feel my life's been highly enriched by that.
Oh, that's amazing to hear. And how long have you been with Berea Home Village?
Uh, since, let's see, I think about 3 years, 3 or 4 years. I think wasn't very long after they started. I don't know how when did they start. Old people have trouble telling whether something happened last week or 3 years ago. You know,
Yeah.
uh, but I think it's been about seemed like 3 or 4 years.
Okay. So can you tell me one thing that you love about Berea Home Village's volunteers?
Well, I guess you'd say their willingness to help make Berea a place where people can, you know, stay in their homes as long as possible.
Yeah.
And that that's a big deal, especially once you get homebound. If you can't drive anymore in the United States of America, you're in trouble. Uh, you, this whole society is built on the individual automobile,
Yes.
and so especially, I mean, it's getting better. There's these little buses running around and like that, but as far as independence goes and feeling like you're still halfway in charge of your own life, uh, depends a lot on the automobile. And so people who can't drive anymore uh, get isolated. But COVID has created, a lot of this, like Walmart and Kroger,
Yeah.
they deliver now,
Yes.
and of course, there's Meals on Wheels, and there's Union Church right there
Yeah.
across the street from you, and some of the other churches around uh, participate with the Burr. My wife used to volunteer at the Berea Food Bank every Friday,
Oh.
and so they uh, they deliver meals to people's houses. So there's services like that around town that I like to support and be part of at the same time because it enriches my life. To be able to meet those people, and every time you meet somebody, you hear about a life that they've lived
Yeah.
that's just really extraordinary, and especially the people who have been ex faculty or you know employees of Berea College. They come from all over the world.
Yeah.
And so it's very uplifting, and it also it's a mind bender, just to hear what some people have lived through or accomplished.
That is definitely true. Wow.
Oh.
And so I know COVID has impacted you a lot, just with, the loss of your wife and just society and everything. So what is one way that you feel Berea Home Village has assisted you during the pandemic?
I think the main assistance has been the care and the support. The Berea Home Village board of directors people have had me over for dinner, and Katie, would call and check on me, and besides giving me, jobs to take people here or there or something like that, but she also is the hub of the village.
Yeah.
She's the village hub.
Yeah. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I am Dave Reilly, and I am 77 years old, and I am majoring in retirement.
Majoring in retirement.
And, yes, I was in business administration at a local limestone quarry for 45 years. And then I retired when I was 73. So I've been in Berea since 1981. We lived in a little town south of Berea named McKee, and when the oldest child got ready for school, we wanted to send her to the St. Mark Catholic School in Richmond, so we moved to Berea because I kept the same job. It was the same number of miles to the job from McKee as it was from Berea. So it didn't make any difference in my time it took me to get to work. I got the kids were born in a girl, Sarah, in 75, a boy, Nathan, in 77, a girl, Rachel, in 79, and twin girls in 87. Oops. That was a mistake, wasn't it?
How so?
No, they've been a thrill. The twins have been a thrill. But my wife and I were 44 when they were born.
Wow. So that's 5 children total?
That's right, 5 children. And let's see, I guess there's 4 of them married. And we got 12 grandchildren so far.
Wow. That's a big family.
So they don't, any of them live in Madison County. Closest one lives in Lexington.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the twins. So all girls, all the girls majored in biology, and my son majored in finance.
Ooh.
And so, thank goodness they all got a job still
Yeah.
after all this pandemic stuff,
Ooh.
which I have to compliment you on your smile. It's
Oh,
so pretty, see, because, with these masks, we don't get to see people smile anymore.
that is
And
so true.
so, in a way, Zoom's better than the real deal because at least you get to see people's face.
At least we get to see people's face. That is
You
true.
know,
Thank
you
you.
know. I
Wow.
mean, unless you're a TV star or something.
Yeah, that is true. Wow. But you mentioned that you majored in business administration.
No, I didn't. I majored in accounting, but the job that I took, it was all sort. It was a small family business, so we had to do everything. We didn't get to pick and choose.
Okay.
We had to do lots of different kinds of business administration,
Wow.
but it was very local, very low. Wasn't in statewide or international business. It was strictly within probably 60 miles of the location.
Okay.
So, because limestone is heavy and you got to truck it, and the transportation charges get prohibitive once you get too far away from the quarry. So, you know, there's quarries dotted all over the state, uh, so that, people can have access to the stone.
Oh. And this was all in Kentucky?
Yeah, it's all just in Madison County and Jackson County and Clay County and a little bit in Rockcastle and a little bit in Estill and Owsley. And so I got to just about everybody has to have a little gravel for something.
Yeah.
So I got to know all the farmers and all the house builders and all the construction people over my time, and it was interesting because you were always meeting new people.
Yeah.
So that was the saving part about it.
Yeah.
The business part of it, is okay, but people always make something worthwhile,
Yeah.
and get to meet a lot of people that way.
That's amazing.
So what's your plans? You're 20 years old. You must be a junior,
Sophomore.
sophomore.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So what are you gonna do when you what are you thinking? Have you been thinking?
That's a
Thinking,
really good
thinking
question.
never hurts.
Yeah. It's a really good question. I have a few ideas of what I want to do. But in life, particularly, I want to engage in ministry, just going around and working in the church, working with young students, young people. As I mentioned, I braid hair. So I'm thinking about opening a shop, teaching people how to take care of their hair. And I also dance and I also teach dance. So I'm thinking about having a studio where I can teach others to dance as well.
Oh, nice. Now, what kind of dance are we talking about here?
We have many different dances. So it started off with liturgic dance or like praise dance that we've done in church. And
Yeah.
because I'm from Ghana, I was also taught traditional dance, like cultural dances. So we would dance at like funerals and weddings. And there's also a newer style called Afro beats. I don't know if you've ever seen any of like the videos, but it's a very fast paced, just African dance. So I like to, those are my three main dances. But I recently became a Zumba instructor. So I've been getting into pop music and hip hop and all that.
What kind, did you say a music instructor?
Oh, Zumba instructor?
What kind
Zumba?
of? Oh, Zumba. Oh,
Yeah.
Zumba. Oh, wow.
You know
That's
about
high.
Zumba?
That's high energy. Yeah, I've seen Zumba. I like to see other people do it. I like to watch it.
Yeah. Are you a
So
dancer?
I'm close. I'm closer to Tai Chi and Chi Kung.
Okay.
I'm closer to that than I am Zumba. You
Yeah.
know, but Zumba is very engaging. You know, I'm sure it gets everybody who's participating, uh, you know, very active in the flow of the music.
That is very true.
You
It's
know,
like a party, but in the gym.
yeah, dance party, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's. Now, do they have Zumba affairs on the Berea campus?
Sometimes now with COVID, they don't allow us to gather like we used to, but I've held a Zumba event or two for the students who like to dance. Yeah.
Where do you do that?
Are you familiar with Hager Gym?
Hager?
Yes.
Which one is that?
It is it's a basketball court inside Seabury Gym.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Inside Seabury on the second floor or something?
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Look up above the swimming pool.
Yeah. Oh, you know Berea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been in my wife and I used to walk over on the track over there,
Yeah.
up above the main gym. So we know a little bit. I didn't know the name of it, but I've been in there before.
Yes. Wow. Are you a swimmer?
Am I a swimmer?
Yes. Can you swim?
I'm the oldest swimmer in this county, probably.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, you were inspired to ask that question. You couldn't ask a more pointed question.
Really?
I uh, I learned how to swim when I was well. My mother sent me to the city pool to learn how to swim when I was 9, and when I was 10, and when I was 11, and when I was 12. My my sister dumped me out of a inner tube that I was clutching in complete fear. And I went down to the bottom of the pool and I came up and my fear was all gone.
Wow.
And
Just like that?
so, just like that, since I'd had lessons for 4 years in a row,
Okay.
I could swim. And this kid that I went to school with, to grade school with, uh, told me that when we were on the way to high school, that he was going to go out for the swimming team, and he said I should come out for the swimming team. I said, well, I just started swimming, just like 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he said, well, if you do, he said, I'll give you a ride home on my scooter. And I needed a ride home. And so I went out for the swimming team. And when I was a junior, I won the state meet. And then I won it again as a senior, and I got a scholarship to Florida State University.
Yeah.
And my daddy said, "That's a party school. You're not going there. Bellarmine is 3 blocks down the street.
Oh.
That's where you get to go."
Mm-hmm.
And so I did. So all my kids here in Berea, they were all swimmers.
Yes.
They all swam. Did you know Mike Johnson, the track coach? And I think maybe he's been retired more than you've been there, because you're a sophomore.
Yeah, I've only been here for 2 years, so I don't think.
Yeah, he's retired. He was like cross country and track coach there for years, and but he was also swimming coach there for a while too, and so was Bill Best, and they would coach our little local swimming team during the summertime, and taught them how to swim. That third girl of mine went to Xavier on a swimming scholarship. What? And so she got her college paid for. And so when the twins wanted to go, they wanted them to come to the swimming team, but they saw from their older sister that it meant getting up at 5:30 every morning. Ooh. And they didn't want no part of that.
Yeah.
So they didn't join the swimming team.
Yeah.
They played club soccer.
Okay.
So, because, college athletics and D1 is a full-time job. And so, anyway, so we all swim. Everybody here swims except my wife. She wasn't a swimmer. And she grew up on a farm, and she was a very dynamic person. So anyway, we lost her last September, and now we're trying to adjust our life to living without the most important person in it. Oh. So that's what happens to a lot of people. And of course, during this time of COVID, it happened to way more people than it should have.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm sorry for your
loss. So anyway, that's about it.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing your swimming history. I'm sorry for your loss. How has it been coping? And how do you feel like Berea Home Village has helped you in this process, in this transition?
Well, I think, I was with Berea Home Village before this ever started, because my wife and I both were volunteers in the mountains with a church group, CAP. I don't know if you ever heard of CAP or not, Christian Appalachian Project. That's a group that was started by a Catholic priest, and now it's its own entity. But that was basically, there were very few Catholics in the mountains, and so this priest also had started during the time of Lyndon Johnson's presidency, the Great Society, he called it. He tried to help groups that needed, special attention because they'd been ignored or stomped on for a while.
Okay.
And so there were different programs that were, started to try to bring education, and that's how we got into this. There's a group called Kentucky Housing Corporation, and they support different organizations that try to get houses for people, who don't have the family or the resources or the network to be able, because none of us, got where we are without an awful lot of help from an awful lot of people. And so we tried to structure our life so that it would be a community building effort that made a difference, because there's people anywhere and everywhere that haven't been as lucky as we've been.
Yeah.
It's like my wife's brother. He took my wife's brother says we won the birth lottery. we didn't ask for it, but we got it. And so we're trying to spread the winnings out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why we're building a habitat house in honor of it's Dave Reilly Memorial Build for Habitat down on Highway 1016. My wife used to always volunteer, and then on the weekends I'd help out too, and the kids would help out all weekend long after they got done with swimming practice, and during the summer, and then on the weekends, and depending on what time of year it was. But Habitat's been very active in this area, and having a home makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
For families to have a place they call their own.
Yeah.
And so we participated with that for years and years. And so we thought that would be a good thing to do. And then this COVID thing, kind of knocked that volunteering in the head. And so we just started writing letters to all the family. My wife comes from a large Catholic family of 17. And
17 children?
Yes. One mother, one father, 17 children. So that's not that big German Catholic area up in Ohio. The average is 12. And so, people are quite, German people are very good farmers. That's why they recruited them all to come over here.
Yeah.
And so, they also, are good builders. And so they couldn't wait to volunteer to build this house. But, with the volunteer limitations, They don't want, just like with the Zumba thing, they don't want too many people in one spot.
Exactly that.
And so, it just kind of knocked all this volunteer stuff in the head. And so Habitat had to get a contractor because they'd already promised this people a house, and we raised I don't know, yes, it's about $38,000 to put this house up, and so that's it needs to be done. These people need to move in, and so that's what they're doing. They got a contractor, which is against Habitat policy. Because they want to build all the relationships that happen when you have volunteers, and because relationships are worth more than money. But right now, the money is what is getting it done. That's why everybody's dependent on the federal government, because the rest of us ain't allowed to have our own printing press. Or if we were, we could take care of that money in a flash.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So since that's why the big holdup with Trumpsky there, was that he wanted all the money for himself.
Yeah.
He didn't want to share the wealth. So anyway, hopefully we'll get a little bit more of it out there, and give people what they need. They need they need to be paid what they're worth to start with. That's what we need. We need to get that, minimum wage up about $25 where it belongs, and so people can live.
Wow.
And that's what we're writing letters about.
Yeah.
So or if you watched any of the politics, Mr. Andrew Yang said that we should have a guaranteed annual income, and that would help. That'd be a good starter. That, and what do you think about some guaranteed education, and some guaranteed shelter, and some guaranteed food, and some guaranteed health insurance? I mean, I got 2 doctors in this out of them 5. 2 of them are doctors.
Yeah.
And and one of them's a hospital administrator.
Wow.
And every one of them will tell you they get paid way too much money.
Yeah, really?
Oh yeah, that's it's out of whack. It's out of whack. People that need it ain't getting it.
Yeah.
My daughter is a hospital administrator, and she went before the board of directors at the hospital and said she didn't want a raise. She wanted everybody that was downstairs getting a raise.
Yeah.
And hell, the answer to that. You can't get a bunch of white men to let go of money. Now that's all there is to it. That they got a death grip on it, and they're all sitting in the chairs, and they all got health insurance, so they won't die off fast enough, and so we have to put up with them. But that's what we need. We need some young people in these chairs that have some ideas and some energy.
Some energy. I like. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
That's what we need. We need people with energy and dynamism, to make things work the way they're supposed to, instead of just what suits a handful of people.
Exactly.
So anyway, I'm sure you know all about that.
I'm glad
because
that you like think
Berea
about them.
College is doing a good. Berea College is doing a really, really, fantastic job trying to give everybody a liberal arts education.
Very well. I really appreciate Berea for everything that they're doing. They
Me
do a lot.
too. Me too. I do too. I have a lot of respect for them.
Oh yes, much respect. I'm glad to hear that.
Well, I talked myself dry, so now it's your turn, I guess.
Okay, well, I mean, I have more questions for you, so yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that I was able to, ask the swimming questions. Is that why they call you Big Arms Riley, or is that a different?
Well, that Big Arms Riley started in college. It was in college. In high school, when I was swimming, I also used to read comic books. And in the back of the comic book, there was a guy named Charles Atlas who was trying to sell trying to sell weights, you know, barbells, dumbbells,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And so they would put these little cartoons in there and they'd show this guy with this good looking girl at the beach. And then the guy with the muscles would come by, kick sand in his face, and take his good looking girl away from him.
Yeah.
And so, all the kids were buying that like crazy. So we all started lifting weights.
Oh wow.
So this was like in the seventh grade,
Wow.
and so, Joe Camel had nothing on Charles Atlas for being able to, bend the minds of young people.
Yeah.
And so we all started lifting weights, and it was working so good for me with swimming that I just kept it up. So when I got to college, there wasn't Bellarmine, was fairly young, probably only, I think it might have been like 11 years old at the time. And so there was a couple of us that thought, well, we can't swim, we ought to lift weights. So we started lifting weights, and they didn't really have any, so we had to bring ours. Everybody had to bring their own weights, and then you just leave them there because that's where you're going to use them in the well, it wasn't the university, that was just college. And so you'd leave them in the gym there. Well, this one guy, he brings a mirror, and so one of my friends used to make fun of him standing in front of this mirror doing these dumbbells, to see how big his arms were.
Wow.
And so my friend started calling me Big Arms because I wasn't near as big as this other guy, but he did it just to piss him off, as the way the saying goes, and somehow the the handle stuck, the nickname stuck. Well, many years later, when we're getting these telephones, my wife got the phone because I didn't really want one. Yeah. And I had those three girls, and you could get 4 phones because, most people have a mom and a dad and 2 kids.
Yeah.
And so you could get 4 phones for a deal from AT&T, these little flip phones. And so we got all 3 we got the twins and Rachel. She was at Xavier, I guess, at the time. And we figured since they were out and about, we got those 3 phones, and my wife had one so that they could get in touch with us from Cincinnati if they needed to. And so we had to have a name. You had to sign up with this email thing. And and I signed my wife up as Hot Mama Therese. And, you know, I was completely stupid, you know, not realizing what that was going to do. It got her a few extra phone calls, as you can imagine. And so, or emails, I guess it was. And so, when it came time for me, since I had put her in that kind of position, I figured I better put some kind of name down that would embarrass me as much as that embarrassed her for years. So I put down Big Arms Riley as my email, and that's how it got there. Took up a lot of time telling that story, didn't it?
That is very interesting. Very, very interesting.
So that's why the big arms. It's not because my arms are big, because hell, there ain't nothing left of them anymore. But they look like you know, a flying squirrel. You know how flying squirrel, when they put your arms out, you know, they got flaps under them. That's the way. That's what that looks like. If you take that Berea College T-shirt off, you're looking at a sight that you really don't want to look at. You know, so that's only what that's what they say. That's only what a mother could love. You know,
only a mother could. I understand. That is so funny. You mentioned that back in those days, they would sell 4 phones for a deal at AT&T. How much did that cost in those days?
Well, I guess it was in the, it really wasn't that long. It was in the 2000s. We didn't get them, you know, back in the 90s or 80s. I don't even know when they came in, but I'm going to guess that, well, no, when everybody was worrying about, you know, how the year 2000 was going to make all the computers blow up in the whole world and all that stuff, I think we did have them then. So we must have got them. Wait, let's see, in 98, I had a bypass in 98, and we didn't have them then. Let's see, I guess we must have got them in about 2004 or 5, around through there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did they cost a lot?
No, I think the program was like about $10 a phone. So, you know, $10 a person.
Oh,
but
wow.
See, that all you could do was talk, and then that's all we did. We only talked on them. We didn't know how to text. We didn't pay for texting.
Yeah.
You know, back then you had to pay for texting, and then you know, people who like to text a lot or had used them for business, they have data on them, or data or data or whatever they call it. And so anyway, you know, they had to pay extra. All we did was just use them for an emergency back then.
Oh,
you know, now these things, you use them for your lifeline.
Lifeline. You know? I'm telling you, these nowadays.
I'm a Facebook fool.
Yeah. Do you scroll all day long just on Facebook?
Not all day long, only about 6 hours.
That is so. That's the lifestyle of this generation, to be honest. Because a phone like this would cost like $1,000, and you can get as many apps, but that's expensive.
Yeah. You know, then phones. This one here, it's a iPhone because you know, we had one of those little computers, but you know, once you get to a phone like this, there's no need for a computer because all we're using it is for personal residential type stuff. It wasn't a business phone or anything like that. You didn't need a big screen. So we didn't have a computer for years, uh, because we never did. We never organized stuff on all those spreadsheets and stuff like that. We didn't use it for that. Uh, Mostly kids used it for
Yeah.
doing their schoolwork on it,
Yeah, exactly that.
because we had a little printer that would print it all out fast for them,
Yeah.
and we made them take. We made them. I told them they had to take typing course. By the time they got there, typing was gone, and it was all keyboard. You know, but that we made them all take keyboard because we knew, it didn't matter what they did, they needed that.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's now they work these telephones with a keyboard with their thumb. Don't ask me how to do that. I can't do it. But that's that's what
Yeah.
everybody does now.
That's
So
exactly what they do. Wow. So I have another question.
yeah,
How how is it from your perspective seeing how, you lived in a society in a world where we didn't really use, much technology. You get around and technology was just an accessory to like now in 2021 where technology is everything.
yeah, and that's a we never, when we were growing up. I mean, all the way through. Well, see, we got out of college in like 65. Well, what's that going on?
Is someone calling your phone?
Are you calling me?
I don't think I'm calling you.
Oh, that's that lady I'm supposed to take. I'm going to decline that.
Okay.
Uh,
Did you want
that
to take some time to
that
respond?
that was the lady I'm supposed to take to a funeral tomorrow. Uh, let's see. That was at work. Uh, you know, working at that limestone quarry, doing all that office work and that bookkeeping and all that. It was probably 1975 or something like that. 70. Let's see, Sarah was born in 75. It was about maybe 77 before we even had a computer at work.
Wow.
You know, so I mean, I was used to doing all that stuff by hand. That stuff would take hours.
Accounting?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh God.
I mean, that stuff. Doing taxes. I mean, I did monthly taxes for. You had to pay gasoline tax because you had trucks that delivered rock, and I mean, you had to pay those taxes. Those trucks all have to pay road taxes and that, because that's how state governments get their money. And sales taxes, all the rock that you sold, you had to charge tax on it. Then at the end of the month, you had to do a tax report. Wow, hellfire! That took half a day every
Yeah.
month just do sales tax report, and send your money to the state government.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was just a different world.
Oh,
It,
definitely.
my aunt used to talk about, well, when I was a kid, she was born in like 1908. Well, when I was a kid, there were horses, and
Well,
everybody's riding horses or mules. You know, now they're riding airplanes and
yeah.
they're going to the moon. You know, whoever thought that would happen?
Yeah.
That was Buck Rogers in a comic book went to the moon. People didn't do that.
Yeah.
You know, so every generation, it's no telling that. One of my twins uh, wanted to get married when she got out of college, and she wanted to marry this guy from Venezuela. And I told them, you know, I, I said, what is your rush?
Mhm.
Don't you know you're going to live to be 120? You want to spend the next 100 years together? You better think about this, you know. So I'm just saying, it changes for every generation.
Yeah.
And that's like you guys, you you're you probably live to be 125, and so, you know, even people like me, I mean, I I could have retired when I was 66, but I still wanted to pay my kids back for the loans they had to take out for their education because
Yeah.
I felt responsible for that. But at the time, it was going on with so many of them. I didn't have the money to just write checks for it.
Yeah.
And so I just decided I'd just work extra 10 years and take care of it that way. So, I was able to live long enough
Yeah.
and I had my health. And so it worked out. But, all these changes and, hey, look at what look at what that vaccine did. I mean, they developed that in 10 months instead of 10 years.
Yeah.
Because somebody discovered something about RNA that, able to, change the whole process.
Exactly.
And, a lot of people don't believe them because it happens so fast. But the thing about it is that that's what technology does. It makes our everything go faster.
Yeah, it really does.
And of course, then that's just so much more that we have to adjust to.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can figure out something on all this water pollution and air pollution, and
Yeah.
you know get the climate calmed down, because every time the wind blows, it blows the roof off of people's houses nowadays. See,
Mm-hmm.
when I was a kid, there were never any tornadoes in Kentucky.
Really?
Never,
Wow.
never. Tornadoes didn't come into Kentucky until the 1970s.
Okay.
Wizard of Oz will tell you where the tornadoes were. They were in Kansas.
Okay, yeah.
And they never came around here. And now they've had them, right there in North Carolina at the ocean. So I mean, that kind of reckless behavior on the part of giant fossil fuel companies is just it's making life rough for a whole lot of people.
That is
And there's I'm hesitating to say what kind of number, but there's thousands and maybe I know there's tens of thousands, and there might be hundreds of thousands of people who've already had to be moved off of where they've lived for thousands of years because it's going underwater.
Yeah.
And so, we don't ever talk about that. We just talk about, what the wonders of, these modern things are, but there's a price to pay for this stuff too. And we need to start taking that into consideration, so.
That is so true. And you know what? I've noticed, especially in these times, we have a lot of earthquakes and tsunamis and natural disasters that rip up a lot of homes and tear them down. So, have you personally ever experienced your house being, maybe burnt down or destroyed? And if so, how has Berea Home Village helped you with that?
No. I'm Berea Home Village has not been around long enough to have experienced an earthquake. We had an earthquake around here back in, I think it was 1978 or something like that.
Yeah.
Came out of up north here, north and a little bit northwest of here, out of that Maysville area up there in Fleming County, and we were in a restaurant. It was a Friday night, I think, and we were at the Mountain Pizza Inn in McKee, and the table started walking across the floor, and we had never in our life ever experienced such a thing, and then when we knew what it had to be, just by deductive reasoning, but I mean, that was a unbelievable experience to be sitting in a little restaurant and then watch tables start walking across the room. Of course, they were all going in different directions. It's not like they were all going for the door, No, they were all just dancing around. They were in a Zoom session, a Zumba. A
Zumba session, yeah.
They were in a Zumba session.
That is
really and so, there is a New Madrid fault line down in western Kentucky where the Mississippi River is. Yeah. That's a fault line down there that's been active, at different times. Apparently, they've got documented that, but no, we've never. I've never experienced that. My wife experienced when she was a kid a tornado took down on the farm. It took half of their barn down, and just like it cut it off right in the middle. And I mean, this was a big barn. It was probably I'd say that barn was probably 150 foot, and they lost like 75 feet of it, and the other part of it was like it never been touched.
Yeah,
it was crazy, So yeah, it's have you ever experienced any kind of earthquakes or natural disasters?
I used to live in California, so I'm used to, earthquakes every now and then. But since I've been grown, I have not. And I hope that I don't. I really pray and hope that I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. What part of California were you in?
San Bernardino.
Oh, San Bernardino. Wow. Yeah. Beautiful.
Right next to the mountains.
Why would you leave that beautiful place and come to Atlanta?
Well, I want to say experience. I was young. So I was living with my, not intermediate family, but with my cousins and my aunties. And I would prefer to live with my intermediate family in Georgia rather than live with my cousins in California. So I think I valued being with my family in a different place. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, so now you say intermediate family. I don't understand that. What does that mean?
I hope I used the word correctly. So intermediate family is your family. So like your mom, your dad, and your siblings. From my understanding, that is intermediate. But let's check Google.
Yeah, no. I misunderstood. See, I got hard hearing. You said your immediate family, didn't you? Did you say immediate family?
Well, I said
IMMEDIATELY. Immediate.
Okay, I think I used the wrong word. So intermediate family are cousins. Okay, so I lived with my intermediate family but I'd rather be with my immediate family. Thank you for
I
coming.
said, okay, now we're together on that. I see what you're saying. Now I'm good. What did you come from Africa and straight to California?
No, ooh, I have been everywhere. So I was born in Italy. Then I was taken to Ghana. Then I was brought to America. And so the first state that I lived in was Ohio. And I lived there for a few years with my family. Then my sister and I were taken to California for about 3, 4 years. And then from there, we all met up in Georgia. So now,
Oh,
that's where we
wow.
currently reside. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're an experienced traveler.
I wish. I feel like all of that happened early in life. So I
Yeah.
like now I don't travel too much. Maybe go to Florida for vacation. I come to
Yeah.
Kentucky for school, but yeah, I wish to travel everywhere.
Well, you have a very exciting story. You should be the one interviewing yourself
Yeah.
because your story is way more exciting than mine.
Oh no, you have a lot to talk about, which I need
Well,
to speak. Oh,
that's
I
because I'm old.
well, of course. I mean, you have 77 years of experience under your belt, so that makes
Yeah.
sense.